The Thorpe Park Resort have announced that they are drastically changing something about the park. Thorpe Park have hinted that there may be some other things drastically changing around the resort. And on top of that, a brand new roller coaster has finally gone vertical over at Thorpe Park. All that and more has happened this past week in Thorpe Park. Yes, don't get confused, I did call it This Past Week in Thorpe Park, and it's still a This Past Week in Theme Parks intro. It is just This Past Week in Theme Parks, but nothing has happened anywhere else but Thorpe Park. So this episode is looking very blue and orange for me, although it might not be for the park soon. I'll explain later. This episode is going to be full of interesting updates, so be sure to watch to the end. And if you do enjoy seeing these updates and you want to stay up to date for the rest of your lives, then please be sure to subscribe to the channel. It'd be greatly appreciated. So then, what on earth is happening this past week at Thorpe Park? My god, there's a lot. And in the intro, I did tell a bit of a ball game because there has been some recent happenings over at Alton Towers that are quite interesting, but I'm going to leave them for a separate video soon. Thorpe Park Resort in Staines, UK, Chertsey, London, England, the world. Recently, the park has decided to choose violence because they've released massive teasers, they've hinted at multiple things, and also they're literally building something huge too. Oh, it's so interesting, isn't it? This time, it's not just, oh look, there's some track being lifted out of a lorry. A lovely piece of gold track. No, it's more serious than that now. Because speaking about the track on Hyperia anyway, it's now up. It's gone vertical, and the structure of that ride is growing at a stupendous rate. And a week before this past week, of course, we did see the name for the UK's tallest and fastest roller coaster revealed to us. That being Hyperia. A very cool but controversial name, as anything is on Twitter nowadays. But since that groundbreaking announcement, we've actually had some groundbreaking because the supports and track have finally gone in. It's never too late to build a roller coaster, guys. Quote of the day. Now, obviously, as with any coaster, they haven't started right at the bottom of the lift hill or in the station or anything, because that would be wrong. They've actually started installing the supports and track near where the overbank is. You know, that bit where it's going to take you all the way up into the sky, fling you all the way onto the M3, and then the train without you is going to just plummet all the way back down towards the ground. Jokes aside, that element is probably going to be the best on this thing, so they've started with the best element. Save the best for first. And the supports they've put in on that section are already going sky high. Like, look at that. It's as tall as Thor. It went vertical like 3 days ago, and it's already this tall. What? And it looking that tall already, it's not even halfway up to 236 feet. What? It's just going to look gargantuan. Yes, the supports are all the way up there, but the track currently is about down here because it's only a slight incline so far. And they've also installed multiple supports towards the end of the ride and a few extra track pieces towards the end of that barrel roll overbank. Yeah, and I forgot to mention, even the station has begun construction too. I can't really tell if the station's bigger or smaller than what I expected, but it's a station, all right. It is so exciting to see another coaster going up in this country. We just had Nemesis, which has basically been fully built. And now we've got this huge, tallest roller coaster coming that just looks incredible. And I'm not going to lie to you, before the month of October in itself, I'd say I had about 0.2 excitement for Project Hyperia. I was just excited about Nemesis before. Seeing all the photos from everyone, and especially the ones from the Thorpe Park social media team in the actual site, just the height that it's reaching already and the size of those elements, it's just, I'm hyped. Area. Absolute gawker of a coaster year, guys. And we're also in for a potential removal of a ride at Thorpe Park, because on Twitter they have teased the removal of a beloved old attraction, Slammer. Yeah, you know, the one that's situated in the Black Mirror Labyrinth queue line that's been sat there for about 6 years not operating. And it could be getting removed. Finally! And I know I'm just going off a social media reply, but pretty much someone tweeted saying, fingers crossed we see Slammer removed soon, and they replied with a bingo gif. As if they were saying yes. Yeah. And if you think this is far-fetched, welcome to the DigitalDan YouTube channel. It's almost like I'm speculating. And to be honest, if this is true, it does kind of make sense, especially because they're building this brand spanking new gold and white ride that's supposed to look really nice. If you look 180 across from it, there's a dying flat ride. Whether that reply from Thorpe is actually true or not, surely they're going to want to get rid of it soon, right? Because it just becomes an eyesore at that point. It has to go, blood. And even speaking of Slammer, of course, that is in the area of Old Town. Could we see Old Town itself be completely refurbished? I would imagine because this new coaster is opening, it's time for a refresh. I could just see them slightly retheming or slightly restyling certain buildings in that area to just fit more with Hyperia, the way that's stylized. And hopefully they remove Slammer in the process of doing all that. We can only hope. And as much as we want Slammer to be removed, something that is definitely getting removed, and we know it for certain, is Thorpe Park's actual logo. I know, it's so random. On your screen now, this is the Thorpe Park logo, and they've used this since 2008, I think, with the infinity logo behind being a key part of it since, I think, 2001. But the park recently announced, in a scare zone of all places, RIP Thorpe Park logo, 2008 to 2023. So that means next year the park is going to open with a brand new roller coaster and now a brand new brand identity. And I think that's quite interesting to see, you know. I don't think they've ever rebranded purely for a single attraction or a single ride that's changed the logo, like, completely. So Hyperia seems to be the one that's going to do that first. It's going to change the park forever. It has been stated that the logo designed 15 years ago doesn't live up to their brand anymore, and that's why they want to change it. And you may be thinking, how is he talking about this in a video? It's literally a piece of graphic design. How's it important? Well, as much as it is a tiny little logo change, it is pretty drastic for the park itself. Because think of it, you take that logo away from the park and you think, oh, that's it, we're done. No, the entrance area is going to have to be fully redeveloped, especially if they're taking off that island like no other tagline, which, again, what on earth will we do? The world is going to collapse. The port base camp and dome are going to become something completely different because that's, again, part of the island branding. All the event branding is going to have to change to be in line with that new logo. And one of the biggest things for me, speaking personally, is that Thorpe Park have confirmed that the soundtrack for the island will be gone next year as well. Of course, you know that lovely little yeah, all the Imascore tracks that had that sort of rhythm to it, all gone. I swear, Thorpe Park are the goats of just wasting Imascore soundtrack. Made one for X in 2017 and then closed X at the end of 2017. And they've done it again! Will we just see the entrance and dome soundtracks changed? Or will there be ride soundtracks changed too? Who knows? I don't know, but at this rate, I don't see why they wouldn't. I just pray to the Lord it's Imascore again, like, they were so good. But going back to the whole point of all of that happening, the new logo itself, what might it look like? Now, first of all, I do just want to get this out there, that there's definitely going to be 1 or 2 signs left in the park with the old logo on it. It's just going to happen. If that does happen, could I please have the sign and the whole of the swarm in my back garden? But when they put this new logo on all of the entrance signs, especially to the car park and obviously everywhere around the resort, it's gonna look very weird. Change isn't for everyone at first, you see. Another quote of the day. Oh, we got 2 quotes in one day, that's brilliant. But we literally have nothing to go off to actually see what this new logo could look like. I did hear that there was once a concept that was passed around that looked like this, and oh my god, please do not change it to that. But could it look something similar to that? You know, the actual RIP sign that was made did say infinity is not forever, so that branding's going to be gone. So why not bring an island into it? The island is back, although they are getting rid of all the soundtracks to do with the island, so it doesn't make sense. It's rather difficult to put your finger on it right now. With that being said, between recording this video and recording this video, I have managed to graduate and get a degree in graphic design. It's my passion after all. I'm going to design a logo for them. Right, we've got to be very careful with this paintbrush. Font do we want? Oh, that's a good font there. There we go. Oh, that looks lovely. You know what? That has taken me some time and some brain cells to do. But I'm quite proud of the final result. Here you go. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss when they announce the new logo and so you don't miss more videos. Bye-bye.